Hey vinyl community, Mark here again from Sound Matters, talking all things vinyl as always. Today's topic is cleaning records by hand versus using a record cleaning machine. What are the pros and cons of each? Can you actually get just as good results cleaning by hand versus using one of these record cleaning machines? By the end of this video, you'll know the answers to these questions and you'll be able to make a decision whether it's worth investing a lot of money into an expensive record cleaning machine or not, based on your own record collecting habits. So without further ado, let's get straight into that video. First approach, of course, is cleaning records by hand, and if this is your chosen method, I've got some great news for you. It is absolutely 100% possible to get great results using manual cleaning methods. You've just got to stick to some very simple golden rules. But on the pro side of things, it's very cost effective to clean records by hand. It's also not going to take up a lot of space within your home, and using the right kit and the right approach, it's very unobtrusive on the records as well. On the con side of things, it is very labor intensive and time consuming to clean a lot of records in one batch using manual cleaning methods, and there's also higher risk of cross-contamination from one record to the next if you're using the same record brush to clean multiple records, of course. But there are ways around this, and we'll get into that next. Golden rule number one for cleaning records by hand is that you should always remove the loose stuff first. So get yourself a carbon fiber record brush, perform this step dry first before you proceed to any wet cleaning whatsoever. We don't want to just jump straight in there with cleaning fluids, because all you're going to do is start moving all of that loose dust around, pushing it further into the grooves and causing us more problems down the line. You may actually find you make the record worse, and you're going to make it very, very difficult for that record cleaning fluid to do its job in terms of holding all the grime and dirt and all those sort of things that you don't want on the record in suspension, so that your record cleaning brush or cloth can take away the contaminated fluid. That is how cleaning records by hand essentially works. So we want to remove as much of that loose, easy to brush off dry stuff using a carbon fiber brush first before proceeding to any other method. Golden rule number two is that you should allow your record cleaning fluid time to sit on the surface of the record so that it can do its job properly. So essentially what we're talking about here is leaving the fluid on the record surface longer, allowing those emulsifiers and surfactants that make up a good record cleaning fluid time to work. So it gives them time to start dissolving things that we don't want on the record surface, dissolving fingerprints, that kind of side of things, holding dust and dirt in suspension. We give it more time to get deep into the grooves, perform those elements of dissolving and holding things in suspension, so that when we apply our record cleaning cloth, there's more chance that we're going to take that stuff away. We're giving it more time to work. This will undoubtedly improve the results of your manual cleaning methods. Golden rule number three, and this is arguably the most important of the lot, is that you need to keep your record cleaning cloths clean and replace them regularly. There is absolutely no point cleaning records with a dirty cloth, of course, because all we're going to do is spread from one record to the next. You also don't want to allow the cloth to become too saturated with fluid, because that is going to reduce its capability of being able to essentially take that record cleaning fluid that's got all that stuff held in suspension and take it off the record surface. We're going to impair its ability to actually perform the job, and we're just going to start moving fluid around and moving dirt around in the process by default. So if you have a record cleaning brush like the groove washer ones that I use here, the good news is about these is that with a simple Velcro action, this will come off like so, and then we can easily just use a little bit of dish detergent, very, very small amount of dish detergent, and some distilled water to allow the cloth to be cleaned, allow it to soak and then air dry overnight before we can then reuse the cloth. But eventually as well, you will find that the cloth will just benefit from also being replaced. And because they're easy to remove using Velcro, you can buy replacements online very easily and be back up and running and cleaning your records within no time at all. But it is incredibly important when cleaning records by hand that we keep the brush as clean as possible and that we don't clean too many records in one batch as well, so that we're not oversaturating the cloth and reducing its effectiveness in terms of cleaning. Even better, you could buy yourself multiple pads, and so that if you want to clean a lot of records in one sitting, you're not just using the same pad to clean 10, 20, 30 records in one batch, and that will undoubtedly improve the results as well. But that goes back to the pros and cons in terms of cleaning records by hand versus using a record cleaning machine. Undoubtedly, cleaning records by hand involves a lot more time and is, very labor intensive. And when we're cleaning a lot of records in one sitting, we do have that issue of cross-contamination of the record from one to the next, and also oversaturation of the cleaning pad. Let's now move on to record cleaning machines. And of course, there's no getting around it. Good record cleaning machines are expensive. Even the most modest of vacuum-based record cleaning machines, for example, is going to set you back hundreds of dollars. So are they worth it? And just for clarification here, I am talking about proper record cleaning machines here, as opposed to record cleaning baths like the Spin Clean record washer, for example, that act as a halfway house between cleaning records by hand and using a record cleaning machine. So I am really referring to vacuum-based record cleaning machines and, of course, ultrasonic record cleaning machines, all of which have pros and cons, which we'll get to in the next section. Let's discuss, first of all, vacuum-based record cleaning machines. I use the Project VCE, but there are plenty of good options out there. I'll put links in the description below to all of the products that I'm talking about, of course, in this video. But the distinct main number one advantage of vacuum-based record cleaning machines is that you're actually sucking the contaminated record cleaning solution off the surface and taking it out of the equation. There's much less chance of cross-contamination from one record to the next when we use this method. It's also going to reduce a lot of the labor-intensive elements of cleaning records. We can clean a lot of records in one sitting much quicker than we otherwise would when cleaning records by hand, of course. On the con side of things, naturally, as we've already touched on, they're incredibly expensive, and they also take up much more space in your home. So if space is at a premium where you live, then that's obviously a downside to having to store one of these machines. That's why I own the compact, the VCE version of Project's machine versus their larger VCS2 Alu, which is the larger model that they produce. Now, the last con, of course, is that there is more risk for damage to the record, and that's why it's incredibly important when you use a vacuum-based record cleaning machine that you check the pads on top of the arm that connects to the record surface regularly. Make sure they're not wearing out, because you could do your records a lot of damage if they are worn out as the record spins and rotates on the vacuum record cleaner. You can just imagine the scratches that could cause if those felt pads could be worn out. Next up, of course, is ultrasonic record cleaning machines, which traditionally have been the most expensive method of the lot. But in recent years, fortunately, a lot of companies have come forward with much more cost-effective models in terms of ultrasonic record cleaning machines to lower the bar of entry to get into the ultrasonic or cavitation-based record cleaning method. That is good news, because there is very good reason why ultrasonic is incredibly popular for cleaning vinyl records. Number one, it is very low contact. There are no brushes involved in this process. It's tiny little cavitation bowls getting deep into the grooves that are doing the dirty, hard work here, rather than the record cleaning brush. So that's good from that perspective. It is also very highly effective on a microscopic level. So getting deep into the grooves where otherwise it might be difficult for brushes to really do a good job here. We can get deep into the record cleaning, deep into those record grooves, again, without the need for any brushes. It's those tiny little bubbles that can just get down into the surface if you've got the right ultrasonic record cleaning machine. So those are all very, very good methods. It's very, very effective in terms of that side of things. Now, on the con side of it, in my experience, ultrasonic record cleaning is not that effective at removing things like fingerprints, that side of things. It's very good at deep cleaning particles from the record groove, but not so good at removing fingerprints. Also, of course, like a record cleaning machine, a vacuum-based record cleaning machine takes up space in your home, and they can be, depending on what model you get, they can be incredibly expensive too. So there are ways that you can improve the performance of an ultrasonic record cleaning machine, because they are very good, but you will find you will get the best results out of them when you add some surfactant to the water tank. I use the G-Sonic fluid here, put a link in the description below for you, when I'm using my Humming Guru based ultrasonic record cleaning machine, and it does greatly reduce the water tension and allows that water to properly get down in the grooves, improving the cleaning result dramatically. I also found that because of the fingerprint issue and just the ultrasonic is great for getting deep in the grooves, but not so great at those kind of oily fingerprint type things on the record surface, you will find that you will improve the result if you give the record a quick pre-clean, either by hand or using a vacuum-based machine before you put the record into an ultrasonic tank. So what's the bottom line here? Should you buy a record cleaning machine? Now, undoubtedly, of course, all the stuff we've talked about here, record cleaning machines, both vacuum-based and ultrasonic, have distinct advantages and can improve your record cleaning process. But your decision to buy one or not should be based entirely on your own collecting habits. Are you cleaning an entire collection, or do you come back from your record store very regularly with up to 25 to 50 used records, for example? Then you're undoubtedly, if this is you, going to benefit from a record cleaning machine. If you're trying to do this by hand, you're going to find it's very labor intensive. You're going to be there a long time, and your results may get worse as you get further down the list of your records. So from that side of things, if you are buying a lot of used records or you have a large collection to clean, it is undoubtedly worth its weight in gold to get some sort of record cleaning machine. If you only buy one record cleaning machine, I would say that you should go for a vacuum-based record cleaning machine, unless I have heard very, very good things about the degritter as an all-in-one, but I did find that the Humming Grew, absolutely superb as a second option for me for getting deep into the record grooves, but I did find it still needed the vacuum-based machine or a manual pre-clean before using it to get the best out of it. That was just my personal experience from the machines that I've used. So if you're only going to buy one and you can't afford an ultrasonic as well, then something like a vacuum-based record cleaning machine would be the best place to start. It's also important to note that buying a record cleaning machine doesn't just entirely replace your manual cleaning record kit. There are many times where I still clean records by hand. If I notice just the odd pop or click start to come up on a record that I play a lot, sometimes just a quick spruce up on the turntable using the Groove Washer kit is enough to remove that. There's absolutely no point taking that to a full record cleaning machine to do so. Just a gentle little spruce up on the turntable is often enough just to remove some of that build up of any dust that might be getting on the surface of the record there. There's also the time when I come back with a new record, and all I need to do there, because new records do benefit from a light clean before you play them, all I really need to do there is give it a quick spruce up by hand before I play the record for the first time. So both methods have their place within your record cleaning arsenal. It's not an either or thing, but having a record cleaning machine undoubtedly is a good option for you to have if you can afford to do so. So that concludes today's video and topic. Thank you ever so much for watching as always. What are your thoughts on this topic? Do you own a record cleaning machine? Was it worth the investment for you? Have you managed to get just as good results cleaning by hand? Do you use a combination of all these methods? I'd love to hear from you down in the comments below. If you've got any advice to share with the vinyl community, by all means do spread the knowledge and the love down in the comments below. And if you're new to this channel, please do consider subscribing, and we'll see you in that next one. Keep spinning.